Hi Cancer, welcome to Eco Tarot. I'm Kensley, I'm the Eco Tarotist, and I'm going to be doing a reading today about yin and yang, whether that's a you and someone else, you assign the roles, or whether that's the energy that resides inside of you. If you like what I have to say, please be kind and subscribe and like and maybe even share to get the word out on this quirky little channel that we call. I really wanted to call the whole thing the Eco Tarotist, but I got a thumbs down on a few friends. They were like, it sounds like you're gonna bomb somebody. And I was like, no, it's a pun. It's so funny. You don't get it? And anyways. Maybe that's the audience I want anyways, right? Let's do tarot readings for the fish bombers or the I don't even know what eco terrorists do, really. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what? Okay, so I'm just thinking of like bombs, but then the fish all float up. That's all I'm thinking. That's the audience I'm getting. And I read Carl Hyacin when I was in my 20s, and I thought I loved him. He's a crazy ass author from Florida who is like a total eco terrorist. So maybe this isn't even his channel. But he's all about the not so likely hero. That's my favorite. The underdog. Under puppet dog. Oh, now we got more than just the one. Okay, that's fine. Oh, we got 3. Oh! That's too much. But we'll work with it. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right, so on the yin side of things, you got the grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. Be the fool. And on the yang side of things, you got a lot of energy. You got the porcupine spirit, the groundhog spirit, and the wasp spirit. Porcupine is time for beginner's mind. Groundhog is time to let go, and sometimes life stings. Okay. And I thought about like splitting it out evenly, but these came out at the same time, so I feel like that needs to be honored. Okay, so let's do a couple of... I really just want 3, please. My awesome spirit team. There's probably a lot because I need a lot of help. It's probably a lot. There's a couple spirit wolves in there probably too, and big old JC is probably there. There's my side. Like an advisor on the side, like not even a part of the team, just like the advisor that you would put on a proposal that never does any of the work but just makes the resume look good. Not that Jesus would just I mean, he's the advisor, like he's there in case you need it. But then the rest of the team, who knows? I've had crazy recently, so I've really just gotten into my spirituality. I was a scientist, and I knew that there was something connecting us all for a long time. 3 pleas for the grasshopper spirit. And because of like Fibonacci sequence and the divine, the golden rule and the divine mathematics and things like that. So that's where I knew all of it was connected. And it just finally took me years of many tower moments to realize that it's it's all because of spirit. It's we're all interconnected. We're all intertwined. This reading is for Cancer. I just want to double check that I mentioned that. I believe I did. Hi, you cuties. Little crabs. Such cutie crabs. Oh. All hard and tough on the outside and soft and gooey on the inside. And then let's do just 3 for, I'll show you guys the cards in a second, for this yang energy. And I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm sorry. I'm like the man's worst nightmare. I heard today. Some comedian said that women talk. There's no beeline. It's just a glow stick. That's how they communicate. And that men's brains are like checkers, real straightforward. And women's brains are like chess, but every chess piece is playing its own game of chess. Oh, what is his name? I have it in my phone. I really need to give credit where credit's due. I don't want to like not do that because that was so funny. Dwayne Perkins, thank you. Men's mental capacity is checkers while women's is chess, but where every chess piece is also playing their own game of chess. I loved it, and that is totally me and totally my style of communication. Is so scattered. I'm so sorry. So for the grasshopper spirit, leap of faith, you get the 10 of Wands, scarab beetle. You get the Knight of Pentacles, the wolf, which is actually my spirit animal. You get the raven, which is the magician, and you get the duck, which is the sun. Oh, the cutie pie. Oh, so cute. Grasshopper. Now, for all of these energies, which is the combined animal, let's make it a Porcua grand wasp. The Porcua grand wasp. Yeah, that is the Porcua grand wasp for you. That's one animal that we're combining. And you get the caterpillar 4 of Pentacles, the lion, strength of, the cat, which is the Page of Swords, and the polar bear, which is the star. Oh, interesting. All good things. Dolphin spirit, intuitive, is on the underlying. So you've got this and that are true. Ooh, like not everything is what it seems. Like sometimes you think something is negative when it's actually positive in your life, and the things that you think are positive are actually like not good for you. So I kind of like that. Nothing is ever what it seems. Not always what it seems. And then the jaguar is the Queen of Swords for your underlying, which is brutal honesty. She does not waste time. Cut through the bullshit. Ugh. Grasshopper spirit, leap of faith. I think of the Fool. If I were to do a deck, I would think. So this leap of faith to me is like the Fool. Just fuck it, we're doing it. And I think this is fine, but I don't know. Have y'all ever watched that Planet Earth series? And at one point, they had the baby wood ducks jumping from 30 feet in the air, just one by one, just, I am trusting that this is going to be okay, or I just don't have enough sense to know anything any otherwise. Like, hopefully I'll make it. Or maybe that's why it's such a juvenile thing, that they don't have time to overanalyze. They don't have time to just like, what is no, I'm not gonna do this is too high. No, it's more of a okay, the one in front of me win, I'm just gonna go, let's do it. That's what I would want the Fool to be on my deck. But so I feel like that's kind of the same thing, except grasshoppers don't really seem youthful to me. They seem I like that they have their that they magnify their voice like exponentially by using it's not a voice. It's they basically rub it's like a rock and a hard, it's like a chalkboard where you have a hard thing against a graded thing, and it makes a super loud noise, a chalk on a chalkboard. You know how it makes that crazy loud noise. And so to me, I think of grasshoppers as like overwhelmingly knowing how to use their voice, quote unquote voice, their sound, their essence, their voice. I just call it that. And also, if it's too much, then you're gonna get like plague shit. You're gonna get, locusts, all the shit in Africa that's happening that no one has talked about ever. That they have had all of the locusts just eat up the entire East Coast, just field after field, and just nothing is left. That's what happens when it's too much energy. Balance. But they're talking about taking the leap, hopping around. So we're going to go with the Fool energy, not the apocalyptic plague energy. How about that? Which is really funny that we're talking about this. I didn't even think about this, but look at that. Oh, wood duck. Well, not a wood duck, but close enough. Jump in out of the tree. Oh, I like that. Yeah, your yin energy. Ending of a cycle. Oh, what is happening? Oh, it's an Amber Alert. Oh, poor Lord. I hope that child is okay. I really do. Please get that child home to their family. You have to say a prayer every time that happens. You have to. Poor little person. So sad. You're at the end of a very long road of burdens. Whatever you've been doing, you're kind of nearing the end of it. Because that makes sense with the grasshopper. It's like you're at the end of something, and you're getting whatever that is means for you, and you're getting ready to, you're timid, but you're getting ready to take a leap of faith in something else that's new. And I think it's a slow process. I think it's a Knight of Pentacles kind of thing, where this night is the slowest of the nights, but it's also like the most successful, and because they plan and wait and think about it and really ensure that the plan in place is going to be successful, so that they are. And wolves, like I said, are, oh, my spirit animal accidentally had, it's another story. I'll tell you about my accidental otherworldly experience. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And contacting this other lady on YouTube, and she took me to some other dimension. It was nuts, and it was amazing. It was so eye-opening, and I hung out with Jesus, and Wolf was my spirit guide. It sounds crazy, and it was just an experience, but it was also like, what the fuck is happening? Anyways, so I love wolves so much. They are, you know, they mate for life once they find their partner. Only the alphas, alpha female, alpha male, they are the only ones that mate in the pack, and then every other animal are in that pack sacrifices their reproductive potential for the greater good of rearing the it's like a life strategy of focusing more attention on a fewer individuals to make sure that they are that much more able to succeed than having a shit ton of kids and just letting them run around. Pups, sorry. So that's a slow energy of after the burdens are dropping. After you've dropped these burdens, you're going to get into an energy that's slow but successful, especially with the magician and the sun. Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna manifest the shit out of whatever you want to in life. It's gonna be a slow process, but you're getting, it's like you're in a transition. Take that leap of faith. Take that, jump out of that 30-foot tall duck nest, break out of your egg, jump out, all is gonna be okay. I got you. Those pine needles got you. She's gonna bounce. They're babies. They're bendy. Anyways, so be bendy. So your porky ground wasp. Try to have a youthful approach. Let go of all the things that sting. Try to have a youthful approach, even though you're covered in spines and no one wants to be around you because you're a porcupine. But just own it and be youthful and be like, whatevs, come on guys, let's go play. Let's go. Let's go. Play tag football, guys. Let go of the things that you're holding on to, and those things are the things that make your life sting. That's a pretty straightforward message. Let go of the things that you think were shitty to you because they're lessons. I feel like there's a real big theme here, or maybe I'm just like forcing the theme. I don't know, but I feel like there's, well, these two, actually all three of these came up recently in a reading, in a couple readings. So that's really weird. Maybe my oils were on the card and it just kind of slides off. I don't know. But the message is similar. It's like, let go of thinking something is shitty. Let go of that shitty experience, because it's not shitty. It's there to help you grow. And if you don't use that opportunity to reflect and to think about what you did and what that other person did, or how you needed to approach a situation again, then you're never going to learn from it, and it won't be useful. It's like, oh, one of my best friends, shout out, love you, I mean it, you'll know who you are, sent me an article the other day about a writer who lost her her mother to, I think Cancer or child. I feel like it was a child. And she said that it's like, how do you get past that tragedy, that loss? And it's like, if I never, if I just sat with it, it would have no meaning. But because I can write about it and learn from it and grow from that experience, something that horrible of a situation, I can assign meaning to it. It's not the best meaning. I wish I would never have had to deal with that. I wish I still had my child instead of not. But to be able to assign meaning to something that is tragic in your life allows you to process it quicker. It allows you to understand it as something that which does not kill you makes you stronger. I always hated that phrase until I realized it was fucking true. You know, it's hilarious how I'm such a cliche freak. But it's so true. There's a reason why there's cliches, even though we don't want to believe it. So for your Porky Grand Wasp, you've got the Caterpillar Four of Pentacles holding on for dear life. Look at that. Look at that sucker. He's holding on for dear life. That was a good depiction, Bernadette, wherever you are. I liked that. Sometimes you want to go literal and sometimes you don't. That's motherfucker is holding on for dear life. Just scarcity mentality. Ooh. Thinking that this is all that I have and there's nothing more. When there's an abundance of everything in this world, you just have to reclaim your mind or reprogram your brain to think instead of the wasp spirit, instead of everything shitty is just happening to me. Let it go and reflect and use that to understand yourself better and life and the world better, and not understanding, you know, that you're having that scarcity concept. That is almost the worst thing. Like in dating, people who hold on to people that have ghosted them or broken up with them. And I mean, I've had it done to me. I feel like I've done it to people, even though I don't ghost anyone. I give a reason. But holding on to something like that it's like a scarcity mentality of thinking that there's no one else out there like that. And it's not. There's like how many billions of people out there? No, it's not. No. Stop holding on for dear life to all you feeling shitty about all the shit that's happened to you. Yang. Overcoming it all. You're going to. You are mind over matter. Love wins, majesty. I think of, when I think of strength, I think of vulnerability, triumphing over just, you know, like the vulnerability is the courage. And vulnerability is the most courageous thing you could ever do, I think. It takes so much more courage to be vulnerable than it does to not, or to put up a front. Page of Swords, and then the Star. So you've got healing, wish fulfillment, with the polar bear, and the Page of Swords is all about youthful intrigue, interest, curiosity, intellectual curiosity into something, whether it's you through social media or whether it's being willing to be a newbie at something again. And I think this is very interesting, of time for the beginner mind, and then the beginner's mind pops out. Literally, Page of Swords is the beginner's mind. That's interesting. Time for the beginner mind. Let go of what's of the negativity associated with what has stung you in life. Sorry, I'm trying to hide my stinking fan thing. Master this mind over matter. Master this vulnerability. And become that beginner's mind, and then you're going to get whatever your wish, was. That's wish fulfillment. It's healing, hope, gifts from the Great Spirit. So Great Spirit is really connecting with you and wants you to, wants that stinking porky ground wasp to really, let go and own it and be curious. And I think whatever's, I like having a positive card ending in each reading. Sometimes if it's not, I feel like there's always going to be negativity in our lives, but I think that there's a way to always turn it positive. And I'm a very positive person now. I used to be such a pessimist. Oh my God, negative Nancy. It's not worth it. You have to understand how grateful you are, and so, or grateful you should be for what's been given to you in your world. This and that are true, and yin and yang. So you've got this is interesting. It's manifesting, taking that leap of faith, letting whatever that is for you to manifest slowly and with the promise of happiness once you do it slowly. The yang energy, whether that's a person or the other part of your energy that's more active, aggressive, action-based. It's saying, let some shit go, or learn from it at least. It's really hard to say let stuff go. People are like, you can't let that go. But it's at least process it, at least, turn it. And that is so crazy because I literally just finished The Power of Now, and I did a big old hike, and I walked and listened to the end of the book, and I had to stop and record it, and it was so amazing. So hold on. This is what I read, and I loved it, and I was wondering if this was gonna come up here, but I think it's very applicable, and I have a couple minutes. From Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now. If you are one of the many people who have an issue with their parents, if you still harbor resentment about something they did or did not do, then you still believe that they had a choice, that they could have acted differently. It always looks as if people have a choice, but that's an illusion. As long as your mind with its conditioned patterns runs your life, as long as you are your mind, what choice do you have? None. You are not even there. The mind identified state is severely dysfunctional. It is a form of insanity, and almost everyone is suffering from this illness in varying degrees. The moment you realize this, there can be no more resentment. How can you resent someone's illness? The only appropriate response is compassion. And then they do kind of like a question answer thing. And so the chick on the recording said, so that means nobody is responsible for what they do? I don't like that idea. And he says, if you're run by your mind, although you have no choice, you will still suffer the consequences of your unconsciousness, and you will create further suffering. You will bear the burden of fear, conflict, problems, and pain. The suffering this created will eventually force you out of your unconscious state. She asks, well, what you say about choice also applies to forgiveness, I suppose. You need to be fully conscious to surrender before you can forgive. And Eckhart Tolle says, forgiveness is a term that has been in use for 2,000 years, but most people have a very limited view of what it really means. You cannot truly forgive yourself or others as long as you derive your sense of self from the past. Only through accessing the power of now, which is your own power, can there be true forgiveness. This renders the past powerless, and you realize deeply that nothing you ever did or that was ever done to you can touch even the slightest radiant essence of who you are. The whole concept of forgiveness then becomes unnecessary. I don't know why I felt really compelled to tell that with this reading about letting go of shittiness. And there's so much more to the power of now, and you'll have to read it later, but to end on and I'll probably keep talking about it later, to end on a lighter note, or maybe not, I don't know, this is sometimes pretty brutal. I'm gonna add my advice from my rebel deck, the Oracle with Attitude. Deck, which is so funny and so honest and so like keeping it real that I can't even handle it. So what message would you like to tell sweet, sweet Cancer, my little crabs, my hard-shelled, gooey inside people, about grasshopper spirits for the yin and Quirky ground wasp for the yang. There's one and two. Okay. Okay, for the yin grasshopper spirit, get the fuck out of your head. Get into your heart. It misses you. It's so brutal. It's really cussy, and it's kind of not appropriate, but I like it. It's so honest. I love it. Take a leap of faith and get out of your head and into your heart, and maybe be in the now. And then for the porky ground wasp is, get the fuck outside, move your ass. Your body is pissed at you. So there you go. From spirit to you. Have a beginner mind and clearly, a beginner body too. Anyways, have a great day, Cancer.